travel mug was great. We are now live
It's
here
lit.
in OP's first ever podcast featuring the one and only Lisa, aka Wonder Woman. How you doing? You doing good today?
Yeah.
Good.
Shouldn't have stayed up so late, but it's
No,
fine.
no, but
Yeah.
the grind is real though. Arc is
It
pretty
is.
dangerous.
It is pretty intense, yes.
But I'm so glad you could be our first guest within our very first podcast.
Yes.
It means a lot, especially with many other OP members wanting something very similar to this. We are very happy that you are going to be our first go-to as this happens. Just letting the chat know that this is going to be live, and we're going to be mainly focusing right now with Wonder Woman rather than the chat. But we are very happy for everybody sitting here today in today's stream, enjoying the podcast with all of us. Later on during the podcast, we'll be making sure to ask you guys some questions that you would love to ask Wonder Woman. We do ask that you kind of keep it appropriate. No trolls, because I know how most of you are and whatnot. But the spotlight is for Lisa, the original Wonder Woman. So my first question to you is, what gave you the idea of your background? Because literally the setting that you have for your streams and whatnot, like the one you have right now, is pretty creative, and not many people do it. So what inspired you to have the background that you have for your stream?
So I collect a lot of things. As you can see, like different action figures, and Wonder Woman being my favorite superhero, and I wanted something kind of chill and relaxing. For a very long time, I streamed with a green screen and a bright light in my face, and I just wanted to be able to chill and relax and have that same sort of setting and mood to
Very
it
cool,
as well.
very cool. Is there anything that you want to show off to the stream or to anybody out there?
Maybe.
Yeah. What do you want to show off? What do you want to show off?
Got a lot of interesting stuff. Probably my favorite is the hand-drawn piece of Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman that I got from Comic-Con this past year.
That is super cool.
Well, last year, because, Corona. Yeah. I keep saying that I'm going to change, like, the different action figures and stuff in the background.
I mean, like, they're so cool.
But I have not, I have so many Wonder Woman ones that I want to put back there. And eventually have it, a bit different. But
is that a shield in the middle? Or
yes, that is
Oh.
Wonder Woman's shield. Yeah,
Ooh.
it's a like a rubber material,
Oh, okay,
so
right.
it's not an actual metal shield that I can hit somebody
It's
with.
still pretty cool though.
Yeah, and then my little sidekick here.
Yep.
Favorite TV show character, the name is Targaryen. So,
do you remember when you
sad.
first got when you first joined OP? Do you remember?
Yeah, I do. I was streaming on a fold-out table.
We all got to start somewhere.
A 32-inch Vizio TV. That wasn't the best. I played a lot of Fallout. Just a lot of single-player games until I got more comfortable with the multiplayer aspect. And just, had a bigger, I don't want to say audience, but like more people to interact with and play different games with, which was always nice because I'm roughly new to the PC gaming scene. So I had to kind of start over and start fresh there.
I mean, it all happens. We always gotta move and elevate and level up to the next step. Which in my opinion, from seeing you from start, or not start, but like towards the beginning to where you are now, you really did evolve into a better streamer from what you first started to where you are now, which is amazing to see. I love seeing the glow up and whatnot. So
because it was bad going back and watching like old clips. Oh God, why did I choose that camera angle? Like, the double chin was real. But, it was just not some of my finer days. But I was able. It really helped me boost my confidence with interacting with people and just being able to be myself, really.
And that's all that matters at the end of the day, is being yourself.
Yeah.
So to the audience, you know, what do you do outside of streaming? Like, what do you do for fun? Like, what do you do for work? Like, what is
So
Lisa?
what am I about outside of the streaming world? So I work in behavioral health, primarily with kids age 12 to 17, and they suffer from various mental illnesses or criminal backgrounds and history. So that takes up a lot of my time, other than streaming. But I guess once the world opens back up, I really like to go to concerts
Oh,
and
okay.
See new movies and
Enjoy the world again.
go to the mall. Yeah, and it is kind of hard not being able to do that, and I'm a little sad that Wonder Woman got pushed back, and I'm hearing it got pushed back again, but I don't know if that's true or not.
But I mean, like, if it got pushed back again, there's more likely chance of you being able to see it in movie theaters.
Yeah, and that's what I enjoy about new movies releasing. Is going to the theater and experiencing it for the first time with a lot of people. And my roommate, my best friend, you know, she's a huge movie buff. That's actually how we became friends. So we try to take time each, a couple days of the week to watch a different movie or something on Netflix together before I start, streaming and
just enjoy real life, IRL moments.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, look at that Wonder Woman cup.
Yes. It's very glittery.
Everything is literally
right
to the
here.
name. It's great.
Yeah. I thought it was fitting. I haven't gotten my OP coffee mug yet, so that's getting ordered today.
All right, so the next question would be, sorry for the interruption. I told my mom not to bring anybody in here. My dad knocks in. You're not going to eat right now? No, I'm busy right now.
Right, yeah.
What do you enjoy from your childhood memories? We're getting questions from the chat, and I thought that was an interesting question. From childhood memories, what was moments that you enjoyed?
I enjoyed time with my sister. She really helped me be the woman that I am today.
Shout out to the sister.
I just shout out to my oldest sister, Kelly.
Hey.
AKA El Nacho in chat whenever she pops in. But yeah, she really, really showed me just how to go after what I wanted and not like fold under pressure of what other people wanted me to be, but just to be myself. And yeah, I mean, she's like my best friend. I would go to her for anything. So,
shout out to Kelly.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I enjoyed the most about my childhood, just the various adventures with her. And she actually got me into my favorite video game series, which is Resident Evil. Yeah, I got my first console. It was a Nintendo 64, and that was my first game that I got. Courtesy of my sister for scarring me for the rest of my life. Okay.
I think many people within our generation started out really truly at the Nintendo 64 kind of era, and then moved on up or continued. And some people strayed away from it, but I believe a lot of people within our generation started at Nintendo 64. So
yeah.
Way to go, Kelly. Way to go with a good start.
Yeah. Yeah. I think my first experience with actual video games was thanks to J.K. Preflor, or my brother, my other sibling, Josh. He started off with computer gaming, and I would go over to his dad's house often. He would have like 8 computers in the basement, and we would play Quake. And little 9-year-old me is just sitting there cussing people out, because his friends are like 16, 17, and so I'm just hearing what they're doing and just doing it, and it was, that was always fun. I think that kind of got me really into gaming, and then it was Resident Evil that I just became addicted.
I mean, I wouldn't really call it addiction, something that got you really into it.
Really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Because games like that always bring a really good story, especially the classic ones. I only know a little bit of Resident Evil, but I heard it really took a different shift towards Resident Evil 4. That's when it kind of completely changed more to action. But they brought it back during Biohazard. I think that was 7.
Yeah. Yeah, they went back to the roots of that
Yep.
classic horror feeling, and then remaking the second and third one. Just it revitalized and rejuvenated
Hmm.
the franchise because I lost hope after Resident Evil 4. I was
Oh
like,
no!
shit,
Oh
this is where we're
no!
going. But yeah,
For me
it got
personally, 4
better.
was my favorite though. But I mean, that's besides the point.
It was definitely different. I wasn't as terrified playing it.
Mm.
Um, there are plenty of moments like my palms are sweating just thinking about Resident Evil 2 right now. Like, oh, that
Oh
game,
man.
yep, scarred me for life.
If you could go back in time, right, and tell yourself, something to give them advice, what would you tell them?
Um,
Towards
Probably
streaming,
like
towards streaming,
towards
towards
streaming.
streaming.
Okay, I'm thinking
We,
like
we we
life
could do both
cycle,
ways if you want. We could do
but
both. Like if you
um,
could tell yourself in the past a good advice to push them forward or elevate them in life
mhm,
and in streaming. So two different
right.
questions. What would you tell
Okay.
yourself personally, and then what would you tell yourself as a streamer?
Personally, I would tell myself, um, just don't let the negativity knock you down because there's going to be a lot of it in life and a lot of people who will attempt to test you
Mm-hmm.
and I would get into a lot of fights when I was a teenager
Mm.
and it was because like I kind of just took things I wouldn't say personally, but just kind of to heart whenever people would say things, not just to me, but to my friends. And I was always a fighter, and so just don't, I'm never gonna see those people again.
Yeah,
So it don't sweat it. Just keep going. Um,
that's very good
and
advice to tell.
you're gonna be more successful than them anyways, right?
Damn right, damn right. There you go.
Yeah.
But that
Yep.
that's good advice to everybody in the audience as well. 'Cause I know from
Mhm.
both sides of us personally and as a whole, we have a lot of people who are young that stop by anybody's streams.
Mhm.
Really, really, So that's good advice to tell the young ones out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, what would you
Um.
tell yourself? Excuse me. What would you tell yourself the beginning of your streaming career that can advise you yourself personally and maybe other people who are watching as well?
Don't be afraid. Um. Don't try to be somebody that you're not because people will see right through that. Um, don't let things fill your head too quickly. I've seen a lot of people who I perceived as good people um, get their heads filled and then they turn into what they were all along, and it just kind of blindsides you for a
Mm.
bit. But just always be yourself. Remember where you started and just go for it. If you enjoy it, there will be trolls. There's always
Always.
trolls.
Always.
Just
No matter where
laugh it
you
off
are.
if you can. Yeah, just
No matter
laugh
where
it
you
off
are.
if you can, and just keep going, keep doing what you love because you're there, you're putting yourself out there, um, and doing what you enjoy doing, and they're just sitting behind a screen being a keyboard warrior,
Yup, yup.
you know. So just don't even sweat it. They're probably it never. It's like there's no in between. They're either 12 or 13 years old, or they're a 40-year-old living in their mom's basement.
Yup.
You know, so it's like just don't sweat it. That would.
Oh man, F the trolls out there. F the trolls.
Yes,
We all hate them all. We hate them all. Horrible human beings.
100%.
Do you have a favorite restaurant?
Yes. Um, it's a tie between two, actually. It just really depending on how I'm feeling. I love Buca di Beppo. It's a real
I've
nice,
never heard of this restaurant.
classic Italian restaurant.
Ooh.
It's like family size serving, so you want to
Ooh.
go there with like 10 people, okay?
What if I
Or
just
you're
want to go
gonna
by
have
myself? 'Cause I'm fat.
leftovers for days.
Ooh, bad.
And uh, and then Paul's Pantry. It's a local place where I'm from. Um, and my dad would always take me there often. That would be like our like little weekend spot when we would go like fishing and stuff. So another like Italian, style place, really family friendly. And fun story, the movie Bad Grandpa with Johnny Knoxville.
Mm,
I don't know if you've seen it, but
I've
the
seen it.
scene where, they're having that farting competition and he ends up shitting himself
Oh,
like up the wall. That was
I
filmed
remember.
at Paul's Pantry.
Wow.
So, yeah. So
That's
that was
super cool.
yeah, it's a little,
Little hometown
nice little
history.
spot. Yeah, a very small town
Oh,
that I grew up in.
hey, there's nothing wrong with that, you know?
Yeah, but they have a lot of great things there. A lot of great little treasures.
What inspired you to become a streamer?
Me and my brother Josh, we always enjoyed watching people like Macy J and Matimio because we were huge into the Siege scene.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember calling him and saying, "Hey, we could do that. We could definitely stream and do that." And it was like we were on the same wavelength because he was like, "Oh, I was thinking the same thing." So we just went for it and just did it. And Nando, I've told you this story before, but there was a point where I felt like quitting,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't until you visited the stream, and then I get that message from you on Twitter and asking if I wanted to join and be a part of something bigger, and that sparked my like drive all over again. And I've been just heavily motivated for the year and a half
Yeah, something like
that
that.
I've
Yep.
been with you guys. So that really like re-sparked it because there was a point in time where I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna enjoy gaming. This might not be for me, but you saw something. I guess in me. I guess I was entertaining enough.
You and many other people within OP who have been hand selected or reviewed over time are gems. Underrated people in my sense, and that's what really we like to pick up and try to build with them or help them build themselves up in a sense. And
Yeah.
I'm glad you love being an OP, and that's what matters to me the most. You know. We have a question from chat from Go-Kart.
Yeah.
When did you first start streaming? If you
I
remember.
believe it was in September of
September.
2018.
So
I
you've
think.
been streaming. Well, I caught you right at the beginning then. Wow.
You did, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you caught me you caught me pretty much towards the beginning of everything. I had dabbled in streaming a little bit before that, just for my PlayStation, just to kind of see how it went. And I would play a lot of Destiny too when it first came out.
Oh.
Sin. There you go. That's for you, buddy. But yeah, I'd play that and a lot of No Man's Sky, and then I decided to up the ante and get it. I bought a PC and was like, I really want to do this. My first follower ever, his name was Steven.
Wow, you remember your first follower?
I will never forget my first follower. He would hang out and chat often, and I wish I could see him again. I don't know where he's been, but
wow.
Yeah, that I do. I do remember my first
That's
follower.
crazy because I don't
hung
remember
out
mine.
in all of my Destiny 2 streams.
That is super dope.
Yeah. So, I tested the waters and enjoyed it, and decided to take the next level into PC gaming at that point.
Wow, that's super cool. Just a reminder to everybody who's watching, this is also going to be put on YouTube as well. We're also going to be editing and kind of working things out when we first put our video up on YouTube and whatnot, more into depths into between the questions, as I cannot talk and whatnot. So don't mind us, as I'm just going to be peeking in and out of chat, so that way we can focus on Lisa, who is our first ever guest here in the OP podcast, and we're so lucky to have her on the team and also on the podcast as well. To everybody else who is watching from YouTube or even in the stream and whatnot, we'll be bringing more people within OP to the podcast, and we'll also be giving them a spotlight, and also hoping to aim out from OP later down the road to many streamers within the community, and we hope to greatly expand over time. If you want, Lisa, we would love for you to give a shout out where to find you at Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, the whole 9 yards.
So Twitter, you can find me at OG_WonderWoman. I post a lot of different things. It's just not just gaming. I'll post about my favorite football team or movies or
I've seen those football comments. I was just like, whoa.
Yes. Just draft day was this weekend. Twitch, the original Wonder Woman, and Instagram is the original Wonder Woman TV. There I post like a lot of just personal photos from different concerts I go to and different events that I attend. That's just more of a personal level. It's not really meant to promote my stream, just so people can get an in-depth look at what I enjoy
Which
as a
is still
person.
really cool because a lot of streamers they don't integrate who they are from a personal standpoint. They just kind
Mm,
of like live behind the mask of whatever the alias is, and then when they take
right.
off the mask, they kind of just ignore everything else and whatnot. There's
Yeah.
some people it doesn't mix well, some people it does and whatnot. But a lot of
Right.
people want to know that person who you are outside the mask. You know, so
Hmm.
it's good that
Yeah.
you do it like that. You kind of spread it out all over. You know,
Yeah.
you got the
Because
entertainment
in
on Twitch, then you got, you know, your personal life on Instagram, and then a
yeah.
mix of both on Twitter, which is nice.
Yes.
We'll also be putting links down below in the description for YouTube as well. So be on the
Yes.
lookout for that, guys.
Don't forget our community Discord that launched as
Yes, yes,
well
yes.
two
The
weeks ago,
community.
I believe.
Was it? I thought it was like maybe a week, 2 weeks.
Yeah, yeah, about a week and a half ago. I think we surpassed over 100 people within the
Yeah,
community, so we're always
already, bro.
looking
It
to
was
grow.
great. I'm so happy
Yeah,
about that.
and then our ARC server too as well, which has been a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah,
Been
it's
able to collaborate with a lot of people,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's what we aim for. That's what it's really for. The ARC server
Hmm.
is being able to collaborate, and I've been trying to get more people to come. So we'll see over time and how things work out.
Hmm. Yep, it'll get there. You know, we're just getting started with that.
And also, if you guys didn't know, Lisa is also our head branch leader, or soon, our head branch leader for the stream team that we have. But we'll also
Mhm.
be moving her from the stream team to director for our charity streams. So be on the lookout for that for the OP channel, because later down the road we'll be working more with the community and aiming towards to do the right thing, you know, by
Yep.
helping other people out. So
Hmm. Yeah, that's been one of like the main points for me with streaming is I want to build a platform to where I can help others as well. We
mm-hmm.
did a really awesome stream, a charity stream for Christmas. What was it? Not last year, not this past Christmas, but the year before that, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, the year before that.
Where we got we did pretty well with the Toys for Tots.
I
I ended
remember.
up doing like an 18-hour stream
Yeah,
that day. Like I streamed from
rookie
like 8 in
numbers.
the morning. That was like one of my first like longer streams.
You gotta do
And
more.
yes, I will. I do. I still need a 24-hour stream. I
Yes,
still need to do that.
yes.
And I need to do various other things that I've been working on and planning as well. So
Would you
there's
mind
more to come with
spelling the
that.
beans for all of us to know? What are you working towards?
Maybe like my first giveaway. I don't know.
What? Some
Yeah,
Wonder
I
Woman,
know.
some Wonder Woman merch, some Wonder Woman merch. Is that what we're going for?
Yes, yes, Wonder
Ooh,
Woman merch.
okay.
I'm also working with someone on designing a secondary logo.
What?
Um,
Okay.
yeah,
Something a
to
little more
add to that
professional.
merch too as well.
Okay.
Um, just something a bit more, I guess, colorful to really match my background.
Okay.
Obviously,
Okay.
I'm a very colorful person, but I wear all black in reality.
The
But
outside
a
looks
very
black, but
colorful
the inside is like
personality.
rainbows.
Yes. But yeah, just to add some more stuff there. There's a couple items within the shop too that are pretty cool. Um, but yeah, I'll be working on that soon. Just the right time will
Yes,
come
yes,
for it.
yes.
Do a little
You want to
giveaway.
do things the right way, because
Yeah.
sometimes taking things slow and easy, come out right.
Hmm.
Like a crock pot. When you put the meat
Yeah.
in one night, you let it simmer. You just let it cook slowly, and when you take it out,
Hmm.
just comes up beautiful.
Yum.
Just like that.
Yes.
That's why you got to work towards projects slowly. Make sure
Yep.
you collaborate with the right people and just build yourself up, so that way when the time
Hmm.
comes, you're able to just launch it with success. You know, and
Yep.
that's what
Yeah.
matters.
Networking is very key, and
Hmm.
it's not just like pimping out your stream
Nope.
or whatever it may be. It's actually building friendships and relationships with people and interacting with them on just other levels, whether it's sharing similarities in music or movies, and then that person comes by your chat and brings their community, and
Yup.
you know, but yeah, just that's the big thing for me. I always like to try and network with people,
Mm-hmm.
not only just within OP to help boost them, but outside as well to bring a newer audience for everybody.
That's so true. And a lot of people, they kind of
Mm-hmm.
skip that part where they think they could just do things on their own and don't really
Mm-hmm.
understand the concept of maybe working with other people, maybe building that friendship and that connection
Yeah.
between one another, and, hopefully being able to bounce off and grow together. And that's the thing that
Mm-hmm.
people kind of just skip over. And it's a shame, because at that point in time, sometimes they just don't grow. They get stagnant
Yeah.
and they give up, at the end of the day. It's sad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I never want to stay in a bubble. I always want to kind of just branch out and try new things. And like I've tried new games on stream that League of Legends got the biggest rage out of me, and I
Or
would never
Smite.
play that game again. But it was a experience nonetheless. Um, but I'm willing to try. You never know when you might find something that you'll like.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
It's always good to try new things, just to test the
Mm-hmm.
waters out on something, because you might not just like it. We're going to pull a couple questions from the chat, because now a lot of people have a lot of questions for you. They want to know who you are
I
and
see
you're
that.
in,
Yes.
and they want to get to know Lisa. You know what I mean? So,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to pull a first question. When did you, okay, we were, my bad, my bad, my bad.
Very good. I think it's Airsoft.
Why
Was
do you call
the
yourself Wonder Woman?
Yep. Um, I have shared this because people sometimes I get that question. Not only is she my favorite superhero and has been for a while. I work in a place where we deal with very combative youth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of those people that just goes for it, and I try to do the right thing, and I try to keep everybody safe. And my coworkers gave me the nickname of Wonder Woman.
Oh, okay,
And
all
it
right.
was rather interesting because I was like, that's my favorite superhero.
Okay.
Um, and that just kind of just became my identity at that point. Anybody can be Wonder Woman. Anybody can be spectacular and do things. It's not just about having incredible powers or strength or abilities, but just being a good person. And that's
Okay.
another reason why she's my favorite superhero, because it's not that she's, just boss and, will crush everything, but her morals are where I want to be in life, with people, just helping others and
Mm-hmm.
doing the right thing.
A lot of people nowadays don't have a set of morals. It's kind of sad,
Yeah,
So
that is
it's
true.
really nice to hear, you say that kind of thing, you know. So on to the next. We got a question from Sin. He's asking, how
Mm-hmm.
do you deal with mental health while streaming? And that's a big thing too, because a lot of people, they
Yeah.
struggle with depression while streaming. They might
Mm-hmm.
see their other peers growing, but them stay stagnant. How do you push past that depression stage in order to really, grip things and keep on pushing forward to hopefully, get to a better place?
Right. I never look at things as numbers. Uh, I don't care if I have one person or 200, watch me. I'm doing it because I enjoy it. There are times where I do feel very drained, and I need time to kind of recoup and maybe give myself a random day off just
Mm-hmm.
to refill my bucket, as I always say.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but just dealing with it, like it can definitely be hard, especially when you get people that come in and be like, I'm not gonna pull the female card or the girl card, but quite often, I'll get trolls in who'd be like, just stop talking and
Mm.
stand up and do whatever. Da, da, da. And it's just like, get out of here. Like,
Yeah.
if you want to see that, go somewhere else, because this isn't the place for that. I try to keep myself as modest and decent as possible. Um, I made a deal with my chat that if I ever show up in like a tank top
Oh
and like
no.
showing things, that I
Mm-mm.
want them immediately to put me on blast.
Oh, start
So,
roasting
so
you.
yeah, I never have a. I want people to come by just because they enjoy watching or
Your
or
content.
talking
Yeah.
or the content, which I'm not the greatest gamer, but I provide a lot of great things, okay? Like like I try, just but yeah, with dealing with mental health while streaming, it definitely can take a toll on you. Especially if you're grinding constant hours, and it may not feel like you're growing or anything like that, but you never know. All it could take is just one day.
Yep.
One extra minute in that stream, like, oh, I'm gonna quit right here, and then the next minute, bam, something magic happens, or it's a slow burn over time.
Yep.
Just keep going and never doubt yourself, because it plays all over your face when you do.
Yep.
And just yeah.
Okay.
Keep striving for greatness. Yeah.
That's our take on that. Whatnot.
Yeah.
We got a question from Go Kart. What do you do outside of streaming? Like, what do you like to do?
So I work a lot. That's one of the things I love my job. I know I may complain about certain things that happen at work, and Nando had said you talk a lot about the negative things, but what are some of the positive things you do? And that's just human nature as general. You tend to forget a lot about the positives, but I love my job. I love what I do. And then outside of work, like I said, just really enjoy going to concerts. Rock on the Range unfortunately got canceled this year because of Corona, but
yeah,
I would have been there. I would have been there in May, jamming out, doing my thing. But yeah, just I love spending time with family. That's that keeps me grounded just as an individual, and reminds me of I can be anything. I can be great. I have very supportive members of my family that they tell me I can do what I want. I can be whoever I want. If I want to take up surfing, they'll support me. Like but yeah, just one of those go with the flow type people.
That's really a good thing to have too, because not a lot of people have that bit of support that's needed to really push yourself forward. For example, not a lot of people within the streaming community have that parental guidance to give them that support that they need to keep pushing on forward. And I think that's a really big thing too, is having that support group with you to keep going forward, because things get really hard, especially during the slow times. Like, for example, going back on Sin's question, kind of, where some people they'll give up because the mentality that you have to have in the beginning of streaming, you have to have it really strong, because there are times where there's no one that comes, and there'll be times, special moments like you mentioned, where something amazing happens. Someone gives you that hookup, you make a new friend that keep pushes you forward, and from that, people will see that and they enjoy it, and they keep going up and up and up. Which is, again, having that support really matters. So for you to have that little bit of support group to have you back no matter what you want to do is really nice. It's really cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I know it's hard because with the gaming community, there are still a lot of people who think, oh, it's just mind-numbing nonsense, but they don't understand, like, there are a lot of people, like, for me, I always say I hate people. I don't mean it in that way. I just I don't like going out and about. So this whole shutdown Corona thing is perfect for me, because it literally alters very little in my life, other than I can't go see a movie or go to the mall if I wanted to, but it's more than that. It's in essence a coping skill, and you build strong bonds with people within that community. And even though there's a lot of trolls within the gaming community, there's a lot of great people too. We talk smack to each other quite often.
Yeah, of course, but it's all good fun.
But yeah, just all in good fun. You got to know your people that you do it with. Some people may take it the wrong way.
Yeah, very true, very true. Like, if you did it to, like, a random person, they might take it as as a jab or something like that, or
Yeah, it's hard because I kind of have a dry sense of humor, and it could come off very wrong. But I mean no like ill intent with some of the things that I may say, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's in private or on stream.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but yeah, I do. I have a very dry sense of humor, I would say, that some people just don't get, and then I have to explain myself like I'm not trying to be a butthead. You know, it's just how I am.
And there's nothing wrong with that. You
So
know what I mean?
yeah.
It gets because there's being toxic and then there's being like real. You know, and some people
Mm-hmm.
they'll see the in betweens of that or like how it
Yeah.
really is. So for you to have dry
Mm-hmm.
humor, that's just your personality. It's just who you are. Me personally, I
Yeah.
don't think is that dry. It's a little moist, but I mean, like that's besides the point. You know? We have a
You just
question
had to throw that
from
in there.
just a little bit, just a little bit. We have Airsoft. He asks, "How do you deal with people that keep trolling or trash talking you in any game or whatnot? Who really try to take jabs at you? You know."
There are times where I have let it get to me because it gets annoying.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, why you ask yourself like, why are you like that? Like, who hurt you as a person? Um, but a lot of times when I get, the ever so often troll in my
You chat.
stream,
Mm-hmm.
in my chat, I tend to laugh it off, and I have a great community that feeds into that too as well, that humor. Um, and I give them time to kind of pick on that person a little bit, like what are you doing, like why are you here, like
Like, why'd
get
you
out,
start that? Get out of here.
right. But and then we just take care of it from there. But I laugh it off. A lot of times I'll ignore it,
Mm-hmm.
or like you'll see me sometimes I'll look and I'll always proofread before I read it out loud. That was the one thing that I learned from watching people make the mistake of saying something out loud.
Mm-hmm.
So I always proofread it, and then if I read it and I'm like, I kind of just like shake my head and kind of chuckle to myself and keep going. Um, but that's really what you have to do. I also like to get petty,
Yeah, I was
and
gonna say I was gonna bring that out. I was just like
I also
sometimes you
like to
get
get petty.
yeah.
If it continues,
Mm-hmm.
I will be petty and and take digs at them while just laughing about what they say, because I know who I am as a person.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know a thing about me, and if they would take a second to get to know a thing about me, then maybe they wouldn't be such toxic people.
Sometimes you gotta do it though, because you have to take control of the stream. And sometimes
Yeah,
even doing that, you get the respect of that troll, and they'll
yeah,
completely stop, and they'll be like super nice. I've seen
yeah.
that plenty of times where people want that, you know.
Yep,
So
I've made friendships with a lot of people who have come in and they try to push a button, and I'm like,
like, what are you doing,
like
bro?
okay, like that's fine, like just keep on, and they're like, oh, you're kind of cool, like da, da, da. And then they take that time and they come back and they hang out. But there are some who like they literally have nothing better to do other than to try and ruin people's
Yup,
lives.
yup, yup,
Like
yup. I
like
don't
it's like you're
understand
not
that
really
either.
ruining
Like,
anything because you don't know me, I don't know you. Whatever people say has no effect on me
yup.
whatsoever.
And that's good because that means you have a thick
Yeah.
skin, you know, because that's gonna
Yeah.
happen, you know, to
Hmm.
anybody who's out there wanting to stream one day or something of that nature. You know, there's gonna be people that come into your stream and they're extremely toxic and whatnot. It's at that moment in time where they see you kind of crumble a little bit, where they find enjoyment in. You know,
Yep.
don't give them that. You know,
Yeah.
there's different ways to handle
Exactly.
it. You can either, you know, let your people or yourself ban
Right.
them, time them out, or whatnot, or you know, you can do what Lisa does and kind of get back at them. And a lot of times with that, they completely stop and they completely become
Hmm.
chill. You know, they'll be like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, that
Yeah.
person's pretty cool.
Or
You
you
know,
gotta ban them. You never know.
yup, yup, yup.
But I did have one troll. This would probably be my worst troll experience. It was back when Call of Duty Black Ops 4 came out, and I was streaming Blackout with some friends, and
Mm,
this guy came in and he started making some rather racial comments
mm,
um, about me, um, and I'm not one to hide my heritage. I'm Italian, Native American, got a touch Ukrainian. That's my crazy side. Thanks, mom. But but just started throwing out real things, and at first I tried to laugh it off and just be like, look at this guy over here, like you're probably 40 in your mom's basement, like go get a job, like and I banned him, and he came back.
Oh, he
Ban that
made
one.
another
He
one.
came back. Ban one. He came back. It ended up being like 12.
Wow.
12 things I had to do. So I had to take down all of his names, and myself and my brother, who was also in the game with me, we sent them all and had to report them to Twitch. And then that's when I realized I am going to set it to where, and I highly encourage this to anybody who's new with streaming, or anybody who is not really a veteran but has been streaming for a while. And you have the whole bot thing where people come in and they bot your channel. Make it to where they have to verify their email before they can even interact in your chat, because then that deters them just that much. You ban them, and then they come back, and they bam, free range right from there. But it's easy for someone just to make an account and just go right back in. But if you have to give them just that one extra step, it might
They'll
just
stop.
deter it a little bit. That was probably the worst. And he ended up taking a clip and putting it together, making it sound like I was going to DDoS him or something.
Wow.
I can't even remember. And I told him, I was like, I'm going to ban you again. Like, please stop. Like I'm going to report you to Twitch. And he copied and cut it in a way, and I was like, okay. So I ended up clipping that whole segment and sending it to Twitch as well, and I'm pretty sure he got perma-banned.
That's crazy. You have to be absolutely toxic to take that amount of time and do that. Like, how stupid can you really be? Like, I'm gonna sit here and ruin this person's day. Are you really that bad? And the worst part is, right, you got a lot of kids and people who do that behind the keyboard and stuff like that, behind the screen and shit like that. And if you do it, and if you would do anything in person, nah, nothing would happen. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, you already know. People like that who hide behind a keyboard. Like, never have I ever gone into a stream, even before I came a streamer, and said anything negative, because they're out there trying to do the best that they can. Every streamer is, and making it fun and trying to enjoy it. I'm not gonna be that asshole that comes in and says something like, oh, like you're fat, or like or you're ugly, or whatever it may be. I'm gonna interact with them and enjoy the gameplay. A lot of times I won't say much in chats. I'll just sit back and enjoy and just watch, and it's pretty relaxing to do that. How, when I get home, if different members of OP are streaming, or other friends within our community, or even newer streamers that I found because of, other people, I'll just go and I'll sit and I'll just watch. Patches is like, lies.
Yeah,
Look,
no, I saw that. I was just like,
just
really?
Because I'm toxic to you doesn't mean anything.
Which happens, you're just messing around with friends, and that's all what's important.
Yeah.
It creates quality content, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mess with you, Sin, my brother, Patches, all the time. Like, ooh, rip, when you die, I'd be like, ooh, that's tough. Like, but yeah, and who knows, with that person who made like the 10 other accounts, he could have just been in someone else's stream and just absolutely just ruined their whole experience. And they never went back to it. Or he did the same thing and tried to say that I was going to do whatever and got them removed from Twitch. And like, I'm glad I was able to kind of stop that, maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed. But
yeah, if you didn't do what you did, it could have ruined, like you're saying, it could have ruined another person's experience. You know what I mean? So, and people like that, and I think that's a problem. That's when they need to check themselves. So if you can choose anyone from OP to have lunch with, that isn't me. All right.
Okay.
Who would you choose? And why?
Just one person.
Yeah, one person.
Okay.
Just to hang out with them and whatnot. They're in town. They just flew in and shit like that, and they remembered that you're in the same state, near the same city, and they want to hang out with you and finally meet you. Who would you choose?
I'd probably choose Chinchu.
Chinchu?
He's newer. He's newer to the community, and my first interaction with him, and the first time I was in his chat, he was doing his Tuesday talks that he does, and I love those segments because he just talks about anything, with his chat.
And a lot of his chat loves it too. I've noticed.
Yeah, and he really opened up about his mental health background, and I really want to sit down and just have like a one-on-one talk and just kind of pick his brain on how he was able to overcome that, and all that kind of stuff. That would be probably the one person I would do that. And then yeah, like pretty much anybody within OP I would enjoy having just a conversation with that I haven't before, and it'd be nice.
There are a couple people within OP that haven't had that one-on-one with people much, I guess you could say, that want to. So that's a good outlook on how to look on that.
Yeah. He was relatively new when I first had found his stream, and I'm glad that I tuned in that day, because like now I watch his stream whenever I can.
Yeah, Chin is a really nice guy, like super energetic and whatnot. You know, it's really cool.
Yeah,
I made the mistake.
He was my vote to do this first.
Oh, I made the mistake of forgetting to follow him and whatnot, and I got caught on that the other day when I decided to hop into his birthday stream. He was like, "Wow, you're finally following," because I did that to him, and I was just like, "Oh, I messed up. Because most of the time I follow all the OP members, you know."
I thought I was following that person, and they post, and I see their stream, and I go in, I'm like, oh God, I'm a terrible leader.
Yup. That's just like what I was thinking. I was just like, oh no, I should have followed him first day, and I messed up. God bless his soul, though. God bless his soul. He's a cool guy. Good pick. Good first pick.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's and then obviously talking to Sin as well. Yeah, I love picking on him. He's like my brother.
We all notice. We all.
He's like a brother to me, and I really enjoy him and Danny. Really keep me in good spirits, and everybody within OP does, and within the community, and within mine, and everybody else's community. They really. And it kind of reflects back on Sin's question about mental health. Having good people around you always helps as well.
That's so true.
And supporting each other.
Being able to laugh together.
You really can't make it alone.
No. That's why you see a lot of people like hopping from team to team. In my sense, I see it as an unhonorable way, a disrespectful way to really grow, because you really don't care. And at that moment, the moment you leave with no good reason, you're really just hurting the respect that the team or certain people have for you, So for team hopping and stuff like that, it becomes, in my way, an honorable way to really grow. And people like shortcuts. Like, why are you doing that? Why can't you just make friends and grow together?
Right.
Be
and
legitimate.
You burn bridges doing that.
Yup.
There have been plenty of people that have come through in and out of OP relatively quickly. Whether the reasoning is justifiable or not, but then, for them to say, I just need to take a break, or I need to focus on other things, and, it can be true, or it just could be just a cheap ploy to, hop around. Like, Patches and I were talking last night. Like, I didn't go to sleep till about 6 a.m. Patches and I were talking about last night, and he said that he would hop around from org to org until he got to us. And he built strong bonds, and we're like a family to him. And that's what you want within a community is, and I'm glad that I'm able to branch out and try new things. Like I just played Resident Evil 5 with Dom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who he does a lot of retro games, and
Yup.
so it's hard to catch him on a multiplayer game, but we were able to do that, and I'm glad that I did because that was so much fun.
And now that
Interacting
you
with
guys
him.
have, collaborated together, you guys built that bond, that connection with one another, that makes you
Yeah.
guys stronger together. And that's what you want,
Yeah.
especially within a team or organization or a clan or whatever that you're in. You know, being able to enjoy one another's company really makes you guys stronger and more of a family. And that's what we always try to do here in OP.
Yeah, because I don't look at anybody as just another number. And I know that that's not how we operate as a family. Like, we are a family, and we grow together. We help each other out. There are some people who, haven't quite molded in.
Not yet, but that takes time sometimes.
We still interact with them, but people grow they grow those bonds on their own time.
Yup. You can't force it.
Yeah, and gaming is one way to grow that bond with similar games that you may play, or just like how we have a community Discord that anybody can just jump into and hang out with us. You may not even be playing the same game.
It's coming out so well too. Oh my god.
We'll have like 10 people in the voice chat, and only 2 of us are playing the same game, but everybody just wants to hang out, and it creates amazing interactions and content. And I know when we were playing Ark the other day, and I got those clips of Viz,
all those pictures and whatnot.
We were crying laughing. It was, it was, experiences like that. And, instead of just looking at we don't just go for anybody because it pads numbers. We go for people who we legitimately believe, not only to be beneficial to how we're trying to grow, but of who we can help and who we believe has great energy. Like I always say that they have such great energy, and that could mean that they're energetic. It could mean that they're very wholesome, and they really genuinely enjoy what they're doing, and they're consistent because they care and they're passionate about it, and just people that share that same experience instead of just going out and getting any riffraff that could get you in trouble because they could say things that aren't appropriate or do things that aren't appropriate, and that reflects poorly on you.
That's very true. You got to be very careful of who you select. From my experiences as a leader and whatnot, I've been doing this for a very long time. I've been managing, I want to say, 6 different teams throughout my career. You have to be careful who you pick up, because just that one bad egg could ruin it all for everybody. You have to be very selective. You got to make sure that that person can really sit well with everybody else, have that energetic feeling like you said before, or have that laid back. I could give plenty of examples, but I'm not going to. Anyway,
we all know.
but there are many things that come to recruiting. Or picking up people to become the family member.
I've made mistakes within the recruiting process. Like, I'm like, oh, this person's like super wholesome, and I think they'd be a great addition, and that ends up coming back to shoot me in the foot because they do the one thing that we tell them not to do, and it's like, oh, I look like an ass right now. But I think one of my success stories is I think King rated Dom, and that's how I found his stream. And I'm so glad that I stuck around because I was like, we need this guy. Like,
and
he brings a whole different element to what we do with the retro games and his energy.
That's so different too. You don't see a lot of people play the retro games. That makes him someone really outside the box. And that's good to have.
That's what you need. Because then other people can branch out to that too as well, and it's like uses inspiration and
bring that nostalgia feeling too to the audience. Like, whoa, I haven't seen that game in ages. Kind of feeling.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome. So I'm real proud of myself with that one. He's a great guy. So just gonna take a moment to toot my own horn.
Hey, this is a spotlight for you and any other people that we bring into the podcast and whatnot. So it's okay. It's all right. So a few more questions, and then we'll wrap up. and whatnot.
Okay.
So this is towards OP as a whole, right? You're a leader of of the stream team, which you'll soon be working towards charity events.
Yep.
What would you like to be your first charity that you get to work on under OP?
I am a big advocate for mental health awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the field that I work in outside of here, and with being a someone who struggles with um, complex trauma, um, just really shining a light on that and letting people know they're not alone. Um, but finding an organization like a charity organization that would be beneficial to promote and do all that. I see a lot of people, you know, um, they use that as like the forefront of everything, but they kind of lose the message with it.
Mm-hmm.
But mental health is so much more than just saying like, "Oh, I'm depressed" or whatever. It's a lot of different things. Um, but just I think that would be kind of like the focal point of where I want to start. And then I love animals, so you know, I have 5 guinea pigs.
Oh yeah.
Little turds,
Oh yeah.
but
Oh yeah. The guinea
yeah,
pigs. For a moment, I forgot about
yes,
that.
yeah, they're in a different room now.
Oh
So.
yeah, they're not part of the stream no more. Oh no, now you
No,
gotta add a
yeah, they're
camera in there and whatnot just for the
I
guinea pig.
know.
Oh,
Just
bro,
just
you know
streaming
they're
porn all the way
adorable.
through it. Yes, and they drive me nuts. They're in my actual bedroom now.
Oh,
So
nice. Okay,
yeah, they wake me up at 5:30 in the morning.
that's always a great time to wake up.
Time to wake up, mom. Like,
I
but
need food.
yeah, just things like that. I absolutely love and support our country. Being a living in the great U.S. of A.
Mm-hmm.
But having military background within my family, I would love to do something that supports the troops and
Oh.
first responders, because right now is a really tough time for them.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom being a nurse, my sister being a nurse, and my sister's husband being a firefighter, it's that really hits home.
Mm-hmm.
Doing stuff like that, but those are just various things I want to try and tackle. I want to try and hit every category, because you tend to build a stronger community of, hey, we're putting a focal point on this. Like it could be autism awareness, and that brings in a whole another audience that wants to help, and that's what I want to do, is reach different people.
That's super cool. I'm glad to have someone like you on our team and being able to do that. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
We got a question from chat. Patches asks he's not quite sure if this question was already asked, but what kind of games do you really enjoy playing? That's a good
I
question.
love my love for games chain. It started off with the horror genre. I wanted to just play zombie games when I was growing up, even though I was terrified of doing them. I would sit and watch someone else play it instead, because I was too scared to do it myself. And then I got into like, I've always loved baseball and football. So me and my dad used to play Madden games together.
Wow. Okay.
At the start of football, yeah. We haven't done that in a while, and I want to do that soon. Is play some Madden with my dad again.
Nothing like family bonding time.
Right. Yeah. I got into RPG games around the time Fallout 3 came out.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, these are actually kind of fun.
So you like Bethesda games like Elder Scrolls and stuff like that?
Yes.
Blech.
Yeah. I love the story and just the creativity of it all, especially when you're able to mod it. And I'll play a game, I'll beat it
on PC, you can
and then
do
I'll
that.
mod it and do crazy things just to see what I can get away with or do. Love The Witcher. Those are incredible games. First person shooters, they make me rage, but I love them. And then if I'm just feeling chill, like like a house flipper, or
Oh
Pizza Hut
yeah, I
Liquor,
remember you did
stuff like
that. That
that.
was super chill. I like that. That was really
Yes,
nice.
I'm so addicted. Like I think I did like a 16-hour stream of
16
just House
hours?
Flipper.
Rookie numbers, rookie
Yeah.
numbers, rookie numbers.
Okay, but it was House Flipper. Okay, you know how many houses I sold? Okay,
That's
don't
really
come
cool.
for
That's
me.
really cool.
But yeah, just and ooh, sorry. I'm willing to try newer games like, patches. Him and I would team up with ESO, and I feel kind of bad because I've like abandoned ESO right now, but I need to
Oh,
get back into it because it's so much fun playing with him and just watching him play and do like crazy stuff, and I'm just running around the background like the little kid sister that doesn't know what I'm doing.
I need help.
But right, like, oh god, I just died to like a level 2 whatever because I have no idea what I'm doing. And
Which button do I
he's
press?
so he's so informative, and he knows everything about the game, and I'm trying so hard to keep up, but I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just running around throwing like different like spells and just whipping out the bow and slicing things up, and it's not doing anything. And he's just sitting there going through it by himself like it's okay. He's got a very big backpack. I just jump in it.
At least he's one of the type of people that are patient with you, because there are
Yes.
not a lot of people out there who are willing to be patient with people and teach them the game that they enjoy. So
Yep.
that's one of the great things. So.
Yeah. And I'd love to broaden my horizons with different games. Like you were playing Hellblade not too long ago, and I'm like, this game is crazy. I want to try it.
Yeah, that
Like,
game is really intense and will make you mad. Cause like, really, really, the story's amazing, and if you don't pay attention,
Mhm.
you will get lost. Um,
Yeah.
but for me, like, I'm really into puzzle games and shit like that, so that's another reason
Yeah.
why I enjoyed it. But the combat in that game is poo poo. It is so bad,
Oh yeah.
so horrible,
Ugh.
horrible. But I mean, if you can get
Yeah.
past that, it becomes enjoyable.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I would
No,
suggest that if you want to like
Mhm.
freak out your viewers to play that game, because it's a very psychological
Yep.
thriller kind of game.
Yeah, I
Whatnot.
was
So
sitting there tripping watching you play. I'm like, what is going on?
yeah.
I love it. Like, what is this game? Um,
And even
but yeah,
before the game starts, there's like a kind of like a dev talk, and they explain why she is the way she is. Cause like if I didn't start that dev talk, I wouldn't have known why she hears so many voices in her head the way she does.
mhm.
To
Right,
those who
yeah.
don't know what Hellblade is, it's like I said, a psychological game where you play a
Mhm.
Viking woman who uh, who hears voices in her head. And there's
Mhm.
good ones, there's bad ones, and there's ones that help her out, ones that kind of try and deter her. But she's trying to bring her husband out of hell and whatnot
Yep.
to bring him back to life. So
Yeah.
she goes through a huge adventure. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, I would love to open up a like a suggestion box of different, um, just to kind of see what my community is playing as well,
Mm-hmm.
and give that a go. When I first started off, I kind of put myself in a bubble of the type of games that I was going to play because I was comfortable with it. But now I'm willing to branch out and try various different things. It may be things that like I would look at, a few years ago and be like, that's stupid. But I'm like, oh, you know what? I'll give it a try,
Mm-hmm.
see if I like it.
You never know. By doing that, you might bring in
Yeah,
more people who are more into your personality. As us of
yeah.
all, as us as streamers really want that more than anything, because
Mhm.
you have people out there who will only follow you for one game. But it's more important to have people who are willing to constantly come back for you rather than the game
Mhm.
that you play, because
Yeah.
it's kind of heart wrenching when you have people who unfollow you because you don't play that certain game, rather than laughing and growing with you, being there, being supportive. Us as
Mhm.
all streamers really truly strive for that the most.
Like I have people that'll come in and be like, "When are you gonna play Fortnite again?" I'm like, that was that's a game that I experimented with, and we had people within the organization who played it, and I wanted to kind of branch out and try new things, and I wasn't much of a battle royale person, and
Mm-hmm.
Fortnite is
We don't
You
talk
already
about
know.
Fortnite over here.
Yeah. But like I absolutely, as soon as I start playing that game, I get instantly triggered, and I'm like, never again.
I
It's
completely
deleted
agree.
from everything.
Yeah, same.
That's how I'm getting about Call of Duty Warzone. Just like, yeah, I'm
Yeah, really?
forever deleting.
Really? Never? Oh.
I just, battle royale games. I loved PUBG
Mm-hmm.
when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
That was the very first battle royale game that I played. Um, and when it came out on mobile, I would play it all the time. Like I'd play a game on break at work, or like if I was working third shift, and I would just play it on my phone. And I was addicted to it. And I was like, let me try some other games. And like Apex is great when you have the right people that you're playing with and you're not lagging all over the place.
So true.
But there's only so much. Like I feel myself getting drained when I play battle royale games, and like I never want to be like deceived as like an asshole, like because those games can make me that way.
Yeah.
Just like highly triggered, but you know that's yeah.
That's just the motion of it. It's all good. It happens.
Yeah.
So just to wrap things up, would you like to say anything to the chat real quick?
I love you guys.
Aww.
Thank you for taking this journey with all of us. Like I'm seeing a lot of people from various communities joining in and asking questions, and that was the sole purpose of doing this. And to really shed spotlight on who we are as team members and as an organization. And hopefully, with this, you guys discover more people that are amazing. Nular, who would I want to see do this next?
That's a really
I
good
had
question.
voted initially for Chinchu to do it first.
Okay.
But then I got volunteered as tribute. I don't know. I want to open it up. Obviously, I want to ask the community. Who they would want to see next.
Yeah, that would be dope.
That would just personally be. Yeah, that would just personally be my selection. Maybe someone who hasn't really interacted with us too much, or hasn't had that focal point part of anything. Sin would be very entertaining, even though he's super nervous about doing it. It's coming, buddy. Your time is
on the
coming.
way.
It's
on the way. It's on the way. So if anything, we will do a vote within our OP community server. We'll do a vote. We'll post it on Twitter, on Instagram, and then we'll take all the votes collectively and really just go from there and whatnot. So be on the lookout tomorrow. At 12 p.m., I'll be asking questions and seeing who will be the next person that we have here in the OP podcast. And Wonder Woman, thank you so much for being the very first one to do it with. This is really cool. I hope to do this every week. We'll make sure to post videos and clips and stuff like that from the stream to make sure everybody gets to really enjoy it and whatnot. So, any last questions before we go? You guys have like 5 seconds.
Do I like being stream mom?
Do you like being a stream mom?
I have no other choice. Like I just kind of like adapted to being everybody's mom. I was like, okay, I'll be mom.
That's just something that comes with it.
I have one of my mods. I think he first came in when I was playing Fallout, and he's a huge Fallout fan, and he's stuck with me since. And he'll pop in from time to time if he's not in trouble from his mom. But he always asks me his first question when he comes in, can you adopt me yet? And like I don't know, just kind of yeah. I guess I'm the stream mom.
This is something you gotta accept. There's no other choice.
Just being volunteered for a lot of things nowadays.
But I mean, like, it just makes you more unique.
My children.
Anyway, again, Lisa, thank you so much for being the very first OP member that we have here on the podcast. There'll be many more, and then many more people within the community, and maybe we might bring some people back, and hopefully by then we can actually have a sit down and actually do a real live podcast. But everybody coming on by, thank you guys so much. for joining us today. Lisa, again, if you could give them your ads, where to find you on Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram. Give you a little plug. Give you a little plug.
Yeah. So you can find me at Twitter at OG_WonderWoman. I post various things from gaming to sports to music, you name it, movies, all that kind of stuff. On Twitch, The Original Wonder Woman. I stream Tuesday through Saturday with the occasional Sunday and Monday. I'm actually going to be starting Movie Mondays. Thanks to the watch party that was added to Twitch with Amazon Prime. So we'll be watching movies on Mondays. Just a little chill thing. We'll test it out. And Instagram at The Original Wonder Woman TTV, where I don't really post much about streaming. It's mainly just a lot of personal photos of family gatherings and concerts and stuff, just
cool
so you guys
stuff.
can kind of see who I am outside, outside of this sans stream makeup. No, I'm kidding.
Anyway, thank you so much again and whatnot.
Yes,
all links will be
me.
posted in the description of the video when we post it up live. I'll make sure to let everybody know within the community when we post up. Anyway, thank you everybody for joining us. Lisa, again, thank you so much. And hopefully we'll be able to do our next guest next Saturday. And everybody, again, thank you so much for joining us on our very first podcast. God bless, and I'll see you next time.
Love you guys.